like, we get to introduce you to some of the people that we get to hang out with. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world. I mean, people like KTT are who you want to be with, who you want to spend life. Like, I want my kids to be loved, to be valued, to be trained up by leaders like KTT. Man. KTT, your voice filled this room. It's going to fill this nation. It's going to fill this nation. Your voice, we are going to have and amplify your voice across this country. It's a voice of hope. It's a voice of justice. And man, we are so proud to be on your team. Got a new rule. I had one rule, President's Club. Had one rule. Can't hoot with the Owls if you're going to soar with the Eagles. Don't hang out with Chris Shelton. I got a new one. Is don't follow KTT. All right? Breaking both of those. First day. You know, John Maxwell, gosh, he gifted us last night. I'm going to see how many of you guys were taking notes. I know Natalie Salins had her phone out. I saw her notes she was taking. Anybody remember? I'm going to see if you guys can finish this sentence. We haven't come this far. We're going to try one more time. You guys heard your neighbor. You heard, thank somebody at your table. So thank you for that. We haven't come this far. All right, yeah, this is terrible. It's just to come this far. All right, we haven't come this far. We haven't come this far just to come this far. All right, the rest of this talk, I'm going to throw it out there. We're going to keep you guys awake and remind you that we haven't come this far. Perfect. In this like sea of amor y valor t-shirts, I'm remembering how far we have come. I was hugging Jeff Brown's neck on the dance floor last night, and we were looking around. And you know, we were celebrating. I was hanging out with Chris. We were having a good time, right? We were throwing it up. Because you know what? This community, this movement, it's worth celebrating. It's worth getting excited about. You're worth getting excited about. Our kids are worth getting excited about. The privilege of what we get to do each and every day, it's worth getting excited about. And John didn't know this, but the title I had really for this talk was, Jeff, man, we're doing it. All this stuff we talked about, all this stuff we've talked about for 14 years, we're doing it. Like, we got schools. We got 4 schools. Like, people are actually letting us educate their children. We have 30,000 borrowers last year. We got 200,000 people that we send, their payment statements to every single month. They're paying for their house to move a mortgage. 250,000 people. We're doing it. We had 1,000 of our teammates go through movement mentoring. We're doing it. We're creating a community that we all want to be a part of. That we're excited to have our kids be a part of. But John's message was so perfect because the second part of that message of we're doing it is that we are not done with it. We haven't come this far. We haven't come this far just to come this far. All we've done so far, man, is build the foundation of where we're going to go. So people they come into a room, go, what in the world does a mortgage company have to do with educating kids? What's this all about? So I'm going to back up a little bit for some of you that might not know the whole history here. Why did we start this thing? What in the world are we doing educating kids? What are we talking about? Why are we all walking around wearing Amor y Valor t-shirts? You can go pack boxes here in just a minute. What is this about? Guys, I'm going to let you in a little secret. It's not mortgages. It was never about mortgages. Never. Always about so much more. It was always about so much more. I had a really cool experience. A lot of you guys know I played football growing up. And, when you're a little kid, you play football. Spiro, what do you want to have happen that never happens for the Eagles? What do you want to see? Super Bowl championship, man. Just, doesn't grace Philly much, but it happens. And, so I was growing up. I said, man, I just want to go to Super Bowl. I was in the backyard, the kid, run, make the catch, and all those kinds of things. And, in 2003, I got fired. Got fired from the Panthers. And thankfully, when you get fired, they call put on waivers, right? It's NFL for 5. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers picked me up. Go Bucks! You got some Bucks guys? Oh man, of course, all our Tampa guys right here. Go Bucks! Go Bucks! Tampa was almost as bad as Philly had been, Had not won a world championship in the franchise history, but they did have a guy, Tony Dungy, that was amazing. And I got to be part of that Super Bowl run. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, it was incredible, right? It was really incredible. We had John Gruden was the first-time coach. He picked up for Tony Dungy, right? And Tony Dungy, the most respected coach probably in the NFL. Everybody loved him. He couldn't do one thing. Right? You know what the one thing was? Win the Super Bowl. Same thing the Phillies struggled with. Win the Super Bowl. Couldn't do it. Gruden took that team, and man, we went all the way. Right? And I played like zero significant role in that team. I mean, you couldn't have been less significant on a team than I was for that team, but I was there. I mean, some of y'all can know what I'm talking about. You're a +1, right? Like, it's just good to be on a team. It's good to be on a team. Like I said, thank you. Thanks. Nice to be on a team. I appreciate it. I was the NFL's version of a +1, I wasn't even their first choice, A couple people couldn't make it. Pick me up. But some of you, I ended up on the dance floor at the Super Bowl. And we had Bon Jovi. We actually, not Jason Statham, we had the actual Bon Jovi on stage. I'm married, if you guys don't know, I married Michelle. Vizzuzo is her maiden name, Vizzuzo. And when you marry a girl from Jersey, whose last name's Vizzuzo, Bon Jovi and Jesus, and they get flips. I mean, he's up there. He's up there, right? So we're standing on stage, and Michelle's there, my mom and dad, and my little sister, and Jake wasn't in the picture yet, but Chris and I are hanging out. I look around, and Bon's, he's hitting his guitar, and Michelle's looking over, it's my love, it's my. And Michelle's crying, she's hugging, and she wasn't looking at me. I was right here, right? I brought you here, okay? See, I know he's handsome and all, but me, it was a really good moment. My dad was my high school football coach, and Michelle and I had been married. We were really young, and we just got married. We were 2 years into marriage. This is my best friend. I'm married. My dad's here. I actually had a backpack. I had $50,000 in cash in a backpack, all right, because I sold my tickets. I sold all my tickets. I really loved you if you were at that game, Kristen. Where you at? Yeah, I really loved you, all right, because everybody else, I sold those. And so I was in some sense, I had everything I wanted. So I was this is the great. I mean, the confetti's coming down. I was I actually got to hold the Lombardi Trophy. I took a picture of my holding it I did something. And it really was amazing. It was an incredible night. It was an incredible moment. And really, in that moment, at 23 years old, I thought I had achieved everything that I'd ever wanted in life. People. I had a beautiful wife, right? Had money. Had success, it wasn't mine. I was claiming it. Had the trophy. And the craziest thing happened. I went to bed and woke up the next morning. Felt my legs. Felt kind of the same. Body was a little stiff. And I realized, what's next? Well, I wasn't the only one feeling that way. We got onto the plane, and man, this is star-studded team, right? You had Warren Sapp and Mike Allstott and Keyshawn Johnson, all these guys, and Gruden. And this guy, if he could do nothing else, the man could cast a vision and tell a joke. And so he gets on the plane, and he starts looking around. And said, "Hey, Keyshawn Johnson, how many fingers you got, big guy?" He looked at him and said, 5 fingers, coach. Yeah. Hey, Warren Sapp. Hey, Sapp. How many fingers you got? Zap's like, got 5, coach, right here. All right, 5. Good. Mike Allstott, how many chubby little fingers you got? Mike's a little thick, a little thick. 5 fingers, coach. He goes, yeah, I got 5 freaking fingers too, but I only got 1 effing ring. Let's go back to Tampa and get 4 more, baby. And everyone laughed, they're cutting up and we're laughing. It's like, coach, oh, you're so crazy, man. Let's go back to Tampa and get 4 more. But I knew what he meant. I knew just what he meant. Because I had woken up feeling the same way. What's next? What's next? What's next? As we took off, the plane's kind of, and I'm looking at this guy, and I just started contemplating, man, this guy, his whole life, all he'd ever wanted to do his whole life, and he told us this over and over, all I ever wanted to do was be the Super Bowl coach for a world championship team. And he became the youngest coach in the history of the NFL to accomplish that. Youngest one ever. And he had all the same stuff I did, except he had actually done it. He could take some credit. He had served it. One day, 24 hours. What's next? What's next? And I think what he meant was the joy is in the journey. The joy's in the journey. The joy's in the journey. It's not a destination. This life isn't a destination. The joy is in the journey. The joy is in the process. The joy is in the team that you're on with the working together to accomplish a purpose that's beyond any of you individually. That's where the joy in life comes from. But I started contemplating that myself, and I went, man, I'm not making much of a significant contribution to this world being the 4th tight end on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, there's other guys who can play this role, right? Like a lot better probably than I could. And I think all of us want to live a life of value, don't we? Want to live a life of impact. And I think God made every one of you, beautifully and uniquely. He's given you relationships that nobody else has. He's given you gifts and abilities that no one else has. And with that, why would we want to go play somebody else's game? So I started processing in my own mind, like, if I got this one life to live, and man, I'm kind of already starting to see, and it was such a gift, but at 23 years old, I kind of already got to see pretty early in life that there wasn't like a number, there wasn't like an amount, right? It wasn't like, oh man, this many dollars, and this many dollars, and this many dollars. There wasn't a stage big enough, right? There wasn't a stage big enough where I was ever going to get on and go, oh, it was this moment, it was this much applause, this many people celebrating. Life had to have more purpose than just a moment and just a destination. And in 0304 began praying, God, please, this one life I get to live, man, help me find a way to invest it to make an impact in people's lives, to do it with joy, to have fun, to have something worth celebrating. And in 2008, we saw that moment. We saw that opportunity. If you guys were in it, our industry was marked by everything that was wrong. Everything that was wrong in the world was kind of marked in our industry. Who was in the business in 08? Who was at movement in 08? We got any original? Cassie, Raj, I can't even see all the way in the back. May, oh my gosh, Kay, Hamilton, DP, where's DP? Wow, you did everyone, you guys like surrounding the tables here. In the back of the room, man, the back of the room. In 08, we started talking, cast a vision. We said, America right now has fundamentally lost trust with banks. They've lost trust with the financial institutions that hold our money. When that happens, it's a problem. It's a problem, right? Communities start to break down, and we've seen it over the last 14 years. People have fundamentally lost trust with the banks because what'd they do? They acted in their own self-interest. Right? They acted in their own self-interest. They said, man, I'm going to figure out how to take as many chips as I can from this table, pull them to my side, and take them from you. And when our banks are acting like that, man, trust breaks down. Trust breaks down, community breaks down. And we saw that. And went, hey, that's a big problem. Man, wouldn't it be great? If we could step into a problem like that and retell stories of what banks can and should be in communities across America, right? But it wasn't really about the bank. It wasn't really about the money. It was really about the community. It was about the problem we saw in America and the problem we saw within communities, the problem we saw in people's lives, and going, this is it. This is it. This is our moment. This is that thing that I've been praying for that we can start to step into, write a new and bigger and better story. And then I had to start finding some people to join the movement. And man, Jeff's up here laughing because we remember having a minivan. Susan was driving an old minivan. I said, Jeff, here's the deal. You can get in the mortgage business. Did you not spell FHA at that point? I don't think so. No, it wasn't. It was. And John was talking about $225,000 loans. Jeff Brown actually still holds the record for his third month in business. Closed 13 loans, $765,000. Undefeated. No one has done this. Parker's setting all these records. You haven't done that, have you, Parker? 13 for 765. It's a feat. But we had to start casting vision. It was a little bit ridiculous, man. It was a little bit ridiculous, wasn't it? It was a little bit ridiculous. So, hey, Jeff, we want to do this company. It's going to be a new kind of company. Man, we're going to love and value people. We're going to love and value people. And man, we're going to love and value each other, man. We're going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to build something meaningful, like create a community inside the company, man, that we are excited to be a part of. And then, we're going to go out there and serve our clients. And we're going to serve them with excellence. And, I started having our first family member. See, how many times did you do Kristen's loan? Jake was the most high-maintenance borrower I think he ever had, by the way. He called me and was like, I don't know if I can thank you for this referral. Because he knows it's true. And I love the way Jake loved and served. Our customers said, man, there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here to impact lives, right? Because that's my little sister. That was my little sister. And you start to realize, oh my goodness, the power of what Jeff was able to do for my little sister, helping her realize the dream of owning a house and doing it with love and doing it with care. Man, that opportunity existed more broadly. I said, Jeff, I think we might be onto something, man. I think we might be onto something. Like this is starting to work. Let's invite some more folks into this journey. Let's invite some more folks into this community. And we started doing it. And we started growing. And Toby was recruiting. And Toby's doing. I remember Toby texting me a lot of times, man, I can't have one more glass of wine. I'm so sick of seeing I'm just sitting on the floor eating popcorn, drinking Diet Coke. I can't do it. Because we were inviting people into this bigger journey, into this bigger story that we call movement. But it wasn't ever just about the mortgages. We said we exist to love and value people. Can anybody recite our operating definition of love? Anybody know it? May, go ahead, come on. What you got, May? To love is to act. You crushed it. There's an award somewhere around here for you. Get her a t-shirt, guys. To love is to act in the long term, best interest of another. For those of you plus ones, those of you guys who have been around here, are newer to the place, our mission statement of movement is that we exist to love. We exist to love and value people. And our operating definition of love is just that, to act in the long term, best interest of another. Because when we start processing, what is it in life that we really want to have happen? Man, I want to be loved. You want to be loved? I want to be loved. Melissa Shear, we had to invite you in pretty early in too. It didn't take Melissa long to figure out that, she could do what Jeff did, maybe a little better. Top producer, President's Club. How many times does this President's Club? Three President's Clubs. Romero's in here somewhere too. Do a lot of early adopters, and we said, guys, let's be a part of a community that loves and values people. Loves and values people, because fundamentally, the world didn't need like one more mortgage provider. Any city represented right now in America right now, you guys are a part of that can't get a mortgage in? Nobody? Yeah, the world didn't need one more mortgage company, right? Didn't need one more mortgage company. What it did need was an example of a community of people who were going to love and value one another, who are going to love and serve one another. And Jeff, I think the message to you, man, that I wanted to say was, man, we're doing it. When we have teammates who are emailing us with their lives transformed because they're joining small groups and they're, man, I love it. Who do you want to meet? I want to meet the people on my movement mentoring team that I've been seeing over Zoom, that I've been sharing my life with, that I've been pouring my heart out to, that I've been processing, what it means to be a better mother, brother, husband, sister. And we're doing it over Zoom, and we're doing it inside the context of a work environment. Because I think the workplace is actually the greatest opportunity that we have to transform lives in America. Greatest opportunity is sitting in the work environment. Where do we spend most of our waking hours? At work. I have an awesome wife. She's not here. She's home with our baby who is Wilbur in Charlotte's Web this weekend. And I love my girls. I love my girls so dearly. Michelle's in just the right place, loving on our baby and watching and supporting her in her play. But I spend probably more waking hours with you all. I spend more time with you guys. And so if that's going to be true, man, don't you want these communities that we're a part of, that we invest our lives into, to be ones that make us better and ones that have purpose? And I don't think we're the only ones. We're not the only ones that want this. This is an intrinsic human need. It's a human desire that we all have. So as we're building this company, guys, this isn't just about us, right? It's not just about us. This is about building a community that we can invite more folks into, to be a part of, to be team members. This is about us going out to our borrowers, to our customers, and saying, hey, it's not just about this mortgage. We want to love you. We want to serve you. We want to re-inspire your idea of what a bank and community can and should be. And when you do that, when we do it with excellence, when we do it really well, we then generate a profit that we get to start to pour back into these incredible schools that we see. And we're actually getting to do it. It was one thing to talk about it 14 years ago. It's another thing every day to wake up and see it come into fruition in bigger and bigger ways. So folks ask, why in the world? Why in the world? You guys are making money, giving it out. Why are you guys doing schools? Why are we building schools? I mean, it sounds great. No one's opposed to it, but they go, why in the world are we doing schools? Well, in the same way we looked across the landscape of America and what was broken in banking and how can we step into that and fix it, we looked across our communities. We looked across our communities and said, what is broken and how can we fix it? How can we play a unique role solving a problem that no one else is working to address? And Bill Gates actually said that he would rather work on global pandemics than fixing education in America, okay? That's how big and how broken this sector is. So right in our hometown, right in our backyard, Charlotte, North Carolina, we looked, and if you were born into poverty in Charlotte, North Carolina, you have the lowest likelihood of breaking that cycle of the 30 largest cities in America. Okay? The largest statistical correlate to you being able to thrive in life and break that cycle of poverty is your third grade reading level. Third grade reading level. You know what else is directly correlated to your third grade reading level? Incarceration. Incarceration. So imagine an 8-year-old, right? I'm getting goosebumps. An 8-year-old has this fork in the road. Depending on whether or not they can read at grade level in third grade, statistically, we know they have a likelihood of being incarcerated or having massive success in life, thriving in American culture and society. And in Charlotte, kids born to poverty, less than 30% of them are able to read at grade level. In our local schools right now, in our Title I schools, the movement is working, it's less than 10% coming out of COVID. Less than 10% of our kids can read at grade level in third grade. And what that means is they're building a prison waiting for them. Waiting for our kids. Waiting for our kids. Unless someone steps in and intervenes. Because our kids, oh my gosh, they are brilliant. They are full of potential. They are full of hope. They are full of so much capability, but they are in a really tough context. So we looked around the nation to find the best education models to help kids transition out of these generational cycles of poverty. Met KTT, and you've heard about some of the great work we're doing. And guys, I cannot brag about this team enough. But what I want you to know is, while the Title I schools in Charlotte are at 10% reading level, KTT and her team have our kids at 300% higher. We're at 36% of our kids. Now, she will be quick to tell me, and she is so right, and you know I'm with you on this. She's like, don't you celebrate that, Casey. Don't you celebrate that. Our kids are capable of so much more, and yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I'm thankful that we are still giving them an opportunity to have a school that's going to give them a better shot than all the other schools in town. And the important thing, and we're going to be at 80-90%. Our kids will be, 80-90% of our kids will be reading at grade level in the next 4 years. That's happening. That's happening. And this is so important because what this starts to do is break down some of these perceptions we have, right? These perceptions we have of what these children are capable of. And so this is always going to be about so much more than just the school. When we build our schools, we run them at about a 4% profit margin, okay? The state and federal government pay us to educate kids, right? It's a great, beautiful thing. It's called a public charter, right? So the state and federal government give us dollars per children, kind of like they give us a credit incentive when we do our mortgages. It's a federal charter. And we get about 65 cents on the dollar that the traditional public school gets. So these schools that are having 10% results get about 35% more funding per kid than we receive, okay? And we run our schools, like I said, at about a 4% profit margin. People tell us this cannot be done. They tell you cannot do this, you can't run inside a margin, you can't have those kind of results. We're now having those kind of results. We are doing it. It's happening. Because we're doing it, because of the success we're having, we're now able to go to our state and federal legislators and offer them a deal, right? Offer them a promise. And here's what we've said. We've said North Carolina and South Carolina, we said this. So we will commit collectively, our community, Movement Mortgage, will commit to investing $100 million into your state to build 10 schools for the most marginalized children in your state, okay? We're going to do it. We're going to do it up front. We're not going to ask you for a thing. We're going to bet our own money on our own system to go serve the most marginalized kids in your state. When we do that, and we have 200% better academic results than our demographic peers, we want you to give us 90 cents. 90 cents on the dollar that you give the traditional public school, okay? Right? You guys get this, right? So this is a 10% discount for 200% better academic results. And you know what they say? Sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a great idea. Like, you serious? You serious? Yeah, we're serious. We're serious. Everyone, the furthest left, the furthest right, the most in the middle, everyone is receptive to this because we're betting on ourselves. We're putting our money up front. It is results-based investment that the states are going to partner with us on. What we're going to be able to do when that funding goes from 65 cents on the dollar to 90 cents is create profit margin. That 4% margin that we're going to run on is going to jump to 25%. We're actually already paying our teachers 2 steps above the traditional public school. We're going to be able to increase that significantly. Who knows teachers are underpaid? And most importantly, we're going to be able to shine a light on these incredible children and show the world what they are truly capable of. Yeah, okay. Because you know what these babies can do. I tell anyone, hey, if you ever get a chance, please come to Charlotte. Soon you're going to please come to Atlanta. We've got 2 schools we're doing in Atlanta. And come visit our children. Yeah. You walk into these kindergartners, man, it lifts you up. You just look at the hope and potential in these children's eyes, and you realize, man, in so many environments, it's being overlooked and not seen. And then we get to see these kids, and we get to, oh my gosh, we get to offer them something that's so precious. But guys, what we can do alone is not enough. What we can do alone is not enough. I'm so proud. The fact that you created over $400 million now that we've been able to give through our foundation, the fact that you did that is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing. People don't even believe these numbers when I tell them what you've done and how we've been able to flow this out. It's incredible. We should be so proud of that. And we're going to make another big donation this year. You're not supposed to be doing that stuff. We're doing it again this year. But it's not nearly enough. It's not enough. When we build 100 schools, they wouldn't even populate Georgia. Right? That wouldn't even take care of the need in Georgia if we built 100 schools. What we want to do is what April did. We want to go first. We want to go first. We want to make a way for others to follow behind. When we build 100 and can run schools at a 20% profit margin and have 200% better academic results than the peers, we're going to get competition because that's what the free market does. 20% profit margins are really good. We're going to invest $1 billion building schools. We're going to be making $200 million a year in our schools. In our schools. Do you know who gets excited about making $200 million? Everybody gets excited about it. Every business in America gets excited about that. All businesses come rushing in. When you can create access to capital, when you can create profit, people chase it. They might not even like children. They might not like them at all, but they're going to come. They're going to come because they want to make money. I mean, goodness gracious, what if we turn education into one of the most profitable businesses in America and we alleviate this problem of kids born to poverty because the biggest, best companies in America with the most capital are actually running in to run after these children to transform their lives so that we don't have this persistent problem of kids born to poverty and kids not being able to then realize and take part in the American dream that we all love. That's the goal, guys. This is the only business we want to be put out of. We want to be put out of it. And we're doing it. And we're doing it, and we're doing it, and we're doing it. And it's hard, and it's walking, and it's uphill, and it's one loan, and it's one kid, and it's one EOG test. And I mean, we have calls every week about it, and it's tough. And you guys are doing it, and we're processing them, right? And it's with purpose. But guys, we're doing it, but we're never going to get there. We're also never going to get there, right? This is not a destination we're going to reach. Kind of like the Super Bowl. Building 100 schools won't be the end of this journey. What this is about is realizing that our lives, your life, that we are so thankful to intersect is always got to be about so much more. And it's not about getting somewhere. It's about who you're going with and what you are doing. And our vision, our mission is that we would exist to love and value, that we change the way people think about banks, that we change the way people think about their entire businesses. Instead of being something that creates your profit just for them, it actually becomes a context where you can intersect people's lives. You can make some of the best friends of your life. You can love them. You can pour into them. You can lock arms with them. You can be about a purpose that's bigger than yourself. You can take capital, then reinvest it back into make the communities that we're all a part of better and stronger and richer, right? And our ultimate legacy isn't how many loans we closed, where Mortgage Market Guide ranked us in closings or in mortgage or even in market share. The legacy we leave are the impact of the lives that we intersect. It's the lives that we intersect. And that's why this is such an incredible privilege to get to work with every single one of you. The fact that you bring your plus ones to this event, the fact that, man, you would invest your life in this company is priceless. It's priceless. It's the most precious thing that you have. And I want you to know that it means so much to us that you do that. So when we get up each and every day, it's with a vision to love you, to serve you, and to invite you in to a story that's so much bigger than who we are. And while we're doing it, Cornut, we're not nearly done with it. We're not nearly, because we haven't come this far just to come this far. We have so much more ahead of us, guys. This is the first chapter. This is the first chapter in this book. We have 5,000 team members now, 30,000 loans, 200,000 families getting the payments from us. We're in the first chapter. It's the first inning of an incredible story that we're going to write for decades to come, that others will follow behind, they will mimic, they will replicate. And I truly believe we're going to change the way people think about work and think about community in America. And as America goes, so goes the rest of the world. Just as in 2008, our industry exported the biggest financial act of violence and atrocity that the world had seen in 50 years in the mortgage meltdown, I believe that our industry and this company, this community is going to export a new vision of what it looks like to work on mission, on purpose with men and women that you love to change the world. Thank you, guys. I love you. We're going to go serve together now.